wear have is always smooth.
Somebody else is coming into the commentary box. Gutted for you, Cole Armstrong.
Yeah, mate. Not where I want to be sitting, I tell you that much. Obviously, we were lucky. We had a bye, qualifying 6th, but man, it's motorsport and it sucks. We've had a rough season this year, but yeah, we've got a big crack on number 5 cylinder, running right the way down the bore, and it's just filling that cylinder with water. Nothing that we can do, you know. That motor's actually been, well, that block has been together probably for 4 seasons. So Ross has done an ultimate job building that car up to make the power that it has, and it's just one of those things, man, that was wrong time, wrong place for us on this motor. So yeah, it sucks, but we'll regroup and hopefully be back there for the final round.
The motor of the 34, that's... You still got 2 motors, you know?
Yeah, correct, but you know, I've got a real good mate that I let him take my 34 out and have a bit of a blast at Hampton Downs, and he might have blown it up there. So now I've only got 2 broken motors, 2 cars with no motors.
Not ideal at all.
Nah, not at all, but we've always got to give a big shout out to Ethan, Cooper's Tyres, Mount Maunganui. That boy does things for us that, you know, we call upon him and lets us come around to his shed. He's down here now, been a beach hop.
Butaline's got they're doing something new.
They have. I don't know if it's out just yet, but we've had Butaline for a long, long time. Llewellyn has backed us, and it's been awesome to have that support, but they also have a new product coming out called Pixeline. So no doubt with the new products as they come in, people will be able to see that and get their new houses and everything piped out in that top quality system. So wait and see, but here we go. We've got our first battles. This is going to be a sick battle. Chad has not done much driving and is running, I'm pretty sure, still on a 235 radial. So you'll definitely see a bit of a difference on the lead run here, where Dave has the 800 horsepower 3.2 RB25 with the 5-speed TDI. So he gets out of the gate pretty well. They've got the new Winters quick change rear end in there. And as you can see, Chad's just lighting the tyres to try and keep up with them, and Dave is starting to gain a bit of proximity here, but Chad's staying in with them. Dave flying it nice and wide, but see how he just sucked right in tight there. It makes it very hard for Chad to even see and gain proximity, so Chad's doing pretty well to sit in behind there, as Dave definitely was tight on that inner.
So the Chads really had to come through late at the end there. You can see when he came to go in that switch into the left-hander, coming through the sweeper, he's literally just had to hold the car and go for a really late switch. We'll see with the TTI replay as they come through underneath the bridge here at Pukekohe Park. Of course, the max mufflers.
And what also happens when you do get in those scenarios, so Dave cut in real tight on that inside, and look at the smoke. Chad was just sitting in his smoke stream the whole way around there. He did really well just to hold it, and then he popped out and seen where he was. Look, he was way off the clip, but he managed to hold it together, so hats off to him, because it does become very difficult when that lead driver hugs that inner line. And one thing, it's definitely been difficult because we are throwing so much grip at these cars now, and you want to go fast. We want to go fast sideways, but when we're doing these types of speed, 180, 185, man, it's hard to really get the car out and put it exactly where you want. And you'll probably see that Chad, as he enters now, will have a bit better control because the car is a little bit looser. See how he sat out a little bit there? Dave struggled a little bit to get the car out, run a wheel up on the inside there. Both back out there.
And Dave's really got ran out of room there to switch. He was lucky to actually make it through, but a great lead run by Chad McKenzie.
Yeah, wow, Dave ducking over that ripple strip there. But as you can see, once again, you get shut, the door gets shut on you, and it becomes very, very hard to actually get around this track here and not run over ripples, especially when we're trying to get right up onto the driver's door there, especially in Castrol, or what is it now, GJ Gardner corner.
So 188 km/h entry for the Chad.
Dave struggled really to get the car out just there, and as I said, we're all throwing so much grip at the cars that we're just about now, you have to go faster to try and get them to hang out, and it's a scary thought, but very controlled angle through there with Dave, and look at that, right up there.
Pulling a wheelie. Dave Steadman, Chad McKenzie, Brendan Dunker, Dan Mackey, Zach Cole. 1, 2, 3. Chad McKenzie goes through.
Dave will be very disappointed in himself there with those few mistakes where he had been driving real well over the weekend, but it really goes to show that they are hard judging on that lead line. So just while I'm there, my teammate Darren's just going to be coming up, so I'm going to make sure I let him know. Stick that wide line, boy.
Make sure you do all the action in front of us. Now, let's have a look at this next battle. It will be Troy Jenkins in the Galore GT86 going up against Gargan King.
So as you can see here, Troy has got some good drive out of there. Both cars have got a lot of horsepower. Troy is coming in there. Gargan's leaving a nice gap, but see how he just launched up there, and what a wide line there by Gargan. He's definitely had a car problem just happen there to shut it down, because that was not a bad line there, and Troy hopefully can hold it together. This is a nice easy pass for him into the top 20, top 16.
Top 16, yeah.
With Gargan having obviously a car malfunction. There's a TTI replay.
So first strike Troy Jenkins in this battle here as we see Jenkins go down. Now, coming down this front straight, it's all about setting yourself up. It actually looked like Gargan set himself up better for that turn based off the arc that the judges want to see, but at one stage he had to basically big correction. His fanger coming through off screen at the moment.
For sure, but that was a nice clean run there by Troy Jenkins. It might have even been a tyre debead for Gargan as he threw it in there, you know. It can happen so quickly in these cars. We're trying to throw a lot of grip and tyre pressures go down, but some people... we
can see Gargan has stopped down the back straight.
Yeah, you can't roll on a tyre when they've debeaded, because what would have happened is that was the outer tyre as he entered. That tyre would have just rolled right up and into his inner guard, and just... you can't run it. And as you can see, Gargan's car sitting there, it looks really nice, has a nice staunch look to it, but he's probably running 11-inch wide rim, and what happens is the tyre gets a stretch on it, and as we're coming in there with so much momentum, the tyre really starts to roll underneath the rim, and as I say, with the lower tyre pressures,
we'll see a lot of the likes of the V8 supercars, etc. when they go, they'll rip out an entire corner of a car.
Yeah, mate, for sure. Usually their ones... are a little bit more of an explode, where ours just pop off and let all the air out, and then they just become, super flat. But he's going to be a good battle. We've got Jaron Oliver to Corona leading out on Shane Allen. Jaron, I've definitely noticed step up massively this season with the development with him and his old man in this car that they've created. Such a unique car, and they've really made it hook up.
That 1GZFE V12, of course, by Harley Engines and Motorsport. Jaron Oliver Corona. Two very loud cars, one that high-pitched Formula 1-esque scream of Jaron up front, and of course the big V8 Ford power plant of Shane Allen.
Such a bugger. Shane was looking real well on that sweeper there, but he just stayed in the throttle a touch too long, and as you see, once again, Jaron come up on the inside, really blocked out Shane Allen in behind there, where he either got caught out in the smoke a touch or just stayed in the throttle a little bit long, and then obviously missed his initiation to switch back to the outer zone, and pretty much just threw that battle away. So he'll be very disappointed in himself, but top run by Jaron. He had a few little mistakes out there, but other than that, wasn't too bad. So here we go. We've got Carl Thompson out here in this ultimate note. We've got the TDI replay. So as you can see here, Jaron's initiated wide, but once again, just shows you how much grip. Look how quickly that car came to the inside, and see where Shane had pushed a little bit wide, but he stayed on the throttle a touch too long and just, missed out and pushed that clip a little bit deep, and that there just wrecked the rest of his whole run. So he did well to hold it back together.
So was fuel as Gargan King.
Oh, no way. He'll be furious.
All right, let's go back to the action on track. It is the Pass Raider NZ S14 of Jaron Oliver Corona chasing down that big Mount Shop Rattler Falcon, Shane Allen behind the wheel.
See, it's blown me away just how every single guy is really sucking on the inside there with these semi-slick tyres. The cars are hooking up so well, but look at Jaron there. He's just popped into that pocket there, had a little bit of a bobble, jumped up on that inner clip there, but not a bad chase there by Jaron. He didn't have to, go right out there. Shane entered 181. That's a good entry. It's just above the speed that the judges have set for us. Jaron just giving him a touch of room. Obviously felt that he would suck up on Shane pretty quickly. And as he did through there, they both got onto the clip. Shane was able to slow the big Falcon up there nicely, actually running not too bad of a lead run, but look at Jaron there, just jumping down into that pocket, and that's how he jumped up onto that ripple because he was trying to really suck down on the inside. So not of water, so it's really good to be able to see this.
And here we go. Jaron Olive Kroner gets all 3 strikes in his direction. He will move forward to take on Jesse Greenslade in the top 16. So just to let you know, there is going to, when we move from top 24 into the top 16, there's going to be a quick 15-minute break. Now the pits are going to be opened at the completion of today's action. So if you want to come and meet your favourite drivers, etc., the pits are going to be
full. She's good.
The pits will be opened then, because we've run out of time due to potentially the 1 more times, etc., that we went through, and the adverse weather conditions we had in pro sport. We've lost an hour, and we do have a curfew on what time we need to finish. So what have you said to Darren Kelly in the Nissan New Zealand R35 Skyline?
So obviously, both of these guys are good friends of mine. Bruce, I've driven with for the last 10 years. Don't panic, Tannic. He knows how to pedal a car. He has a beautifully presented car, so hopefully he does sit with Darren. We did a couple of passes together, and Bruce was definitely a bit tentative on the speed, but this is where the speed is. And see Bruce, he's got a good jump because he knows Darren's car's quick out of the gate, and he wants to be right beside him as they come down into this entry. Darren is hard on the throttle, but see how Bruce has lit the tyres up there. He just pulled back a little bit. Darren, nice wide line, but see how it's still sucked in there. And yes, Bruce just had that touch of a mistake, but Darren doing a nice clean run there, just running that front wheel over that ripple. Bruce is now on catch up, but a very clean run there by Darren Kelly on the lead run, and Bruce, a little bit of a mistake, but it just goes to show that's all it takes, mate. So
187 km/h entry. Darren Kelly leads out on this in New Zealand R35 Skyline. The Mag and Turbo Achilles Radio S13 of Bruce Tannic, as we see him pitch it into the sweeper here, and that's where the big mistake happened for him.
Once, as I've been saying all day, again, just see the amount of grip that throw, as Bruce threw that S13, those Achilles tyres just gripped up instantly on him, making him come into a little bobble in a straight line there. So, yeah, it's amazing how we've made these cars hook up so well.
That's a 30.
32 with a 30 front, 34 front on it. Looks very tight. He's done a lot.
32.4.
32.4.
So cool.
So here the 2 boys go out. They've both got sequentials. They've both got good power. One's an RB, one's a 2J. Gar going to be sending it in here quite quickly. Troy knows he's got a slight advantage. Look at that big entry by Troy. I was quite surprised, but a bit of a bobble by both of them. Gargan now just dropping 2 wheels, which is...
That's going to be back to the replay to actually count the wheel drops.
Well, I don't. Yeah, for sure, but I don't think they'll probably go too hard into that. We already know it's a 10-0. So. Interesting battle. But yeah, here we go.
Slide left for Gargan Kang, slide right for Troy Jenkins. 1 strike, Troy. 2 strikes, Troy. 3 strikes, Troy Jenkins moves through to take on Dane and Templeman in the top 16.
And that will be a good battle with those 2 rocket ships going at it.
2J versus 2J out there.
So now here we've got RB versus RB. We've got Darren with the 3.4 and Bruce with a 3.2 litre. Both will be coming into this corner really quickly.
Darren getting right in the pocket this time.
Yeah, he knows how to drive behind most drivers. He can definitely sit in behind. There's a little bit of a bobble. Hopefully he can sit in behind there nicely. That's why I told him to give a little bit of a gap, because Bruce cut up on the inside once again. He pushed him out and really blocked him out on the room. So Darren's sitting in behind there, a little bit of a mistake, but I don't think it was quite.
So one of the things that the judges ask is for the person in the chase position is to emulate the line of the person in front. Now, because of how far up he is, he's actually getting led into this turn. Now, he does make a slight correction as not to make contact, but you can see he's following that line in front, and very, very difficult when that's so shallow.
It's huge. It's real hard. You obviously get washed out by the smoke. You can't see a lot, and then for Bruce running that inside line, and even me and Darren there.
Well, here we go. We have got a result.
Here we go.
1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes, Darren Kelly. Also, Brendan Dunker, welcome to the show.
Hey, Steve. Hey, it's I guess that little bit of rain earlier in the pro sport that really upset things a bit, made all the runs pretty messy. These ones are a little bit more clear cut. The guys are definitely going 11 out of 10 here. But so there's been some basic mistakes, mechanicals and that sort of stuff, and that's kind of where the calls are coming from. As we get through, obviously it's going to get a little bit trickier.
Certainly is. All right, thank you very much.
Hey, while we've got Brendan on the mic here, can you just explain how I have been kind of talking about how you would be marking down the lead driver, how they're really cutting on that inside line, or is that not quite how it's working out?
No, that's definitely right. And of course, Cole, being one of our greatest drivers here, was definitely listening and briefing, which is awesome. and Cole is also really good at giving a good interpretation of what we ask for in briefing. But yeah, we are hammering the guys for sucking in too tight here. They need to follow a wider line to start before they actually get back in on that Luxio clip. We're going to go to another battle, but we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you very much.
Cheers,
well, we've got
guys.
the Performance Automotive S15 2JZ power plant of Matty Hill out of Australia going up against the Measure Up Flooring S13 of Liam Burke, last year's Pro Sport champion, going up against Australia's finest. Let's see who is going to take the advantage as they fire down the front straight, Pukekohe Park.
So Matty Hill entering in, nice wide line once again. Liam Burke as well, sitting in a pretty clean line together, tucking up on the inside. Both of them jumping up in there. Liam diving onto Matty's door, that was awesome. Exactly what the judges want to do. And look at that, Liam diving on Matty Hill's door. That was a great chase. But let me explain how he was able to do that. Now, because Matty Hill ran such a good lead run, it gave the advantage for Liam to suck up and dive down onto the inside, which gives us this awesome chase. Now, because of Matty, how he sat a touch wider here, it gave enough room for Liam, see, to cut up on the inside. Matty slowed down here. Liam kept the pace going, dove up on the inside. Matty once again ran nice and wide, what the judges are doing, and see how it gave that pocket for Liam to dive up and dive in. So yeah, that would be very close. I'd say Liam would have possibly got a bit of an advantage just for how awesome he just was able to suck up on that inside, but Matty gave him the room to be able to do that. If he ran a real shallow line through there, Liam would have had nowhere to go. So let's see if it goes both ways on this one. With Matty Hill, will definitely not be giving him an inch. The boys will be on his radio saying on that door. So this will be definitely one interesting battle as they come up to the front straight here.
All right, they fire it into the sweeper here. Oh, look at the back bumper comes off. A big mistake.
Big mistake there by Matty Hill. Obviously had a real struggle on the initiation. They have got that thing hooking up really well. And see how Liam didn't quite tuck out to the outside there, giving Matty the room to join in there. But Matty obviously making that big mistake on the entry, which is definitely going to hurt him hard.
So, of course, Matty Hill sitting second in the championship. You've got to be happy about this for your team, mate. If the result goes the way it is.
Because you know it. But just remember too that Blacklion Tyres, the official live stream sponsor, that's giving you guys all the pleasure of watching this here. But a slower speed entry there by Liam Burke, 169, and see that would have really hindered Matty's initiation because he's been going over that 180.
There was a lot of diving in the first run. Here we go. Liam Burke, Matty Hill, left for Liam Burke, right for Matty Hill. Brendan Dunker says left. Dan Mackey does. Zach Pohl makes it 3 in a row. Liam Burke will move through, and championship.
Wow, that is huge. So now Darren's gone through to the top 16, and Matty Hill is out of the top 16. That just gives him a pretty big advantage. But here we go. We've got Andrew Redwood leading out Jerry Zoo. Andrew Redwood is one rocket ship in that FDRX7. Look at him enter there just on the rev limiter. Nice wide line there, and see he's able to suck up nicely in there. He's actually giving a real nice line for Jerry to follow. Jerry washing really wide there, and now making a very messy run of it. But Andrew in the lead run.
Wow,
that's clean, man.
I mean, it's of no surprise he's always referred to as the Angle King, because you see it as he stacks it on coming down the front straight here at Pukekohe, setting himself up for the big right-hand sweeper.
Yeah, for sure. Andrew, I know, has been struggling massively, having an old car like he has there and still running the factory diff. You cannot get diff ratios long enough for him to be able to come in here and have legs to burn, so he's coming in hard on the rev limiter.
Well, second half of this battle between the NOB, no one better. Building Supplies, S15, 2JZ power plant of Jerry Zoo, Mr. OG Drift going up against the Angle King himself in the Nankang SCRX7. It is Andrew Redwood. That's the LS7 power plant, I believe.
LS3.
LS3.
LS2. LS2 with nitrous. So see, Andrew's being smart here. He's giving a bit of a gap because look how quickly he just caught up on Jerry Zoo there. But what an awesome chase to be able to just sit slightly, gain that control and gather it back there, where Jerry obviously had something happen on and slowed the car right up, but Andrew did well to sit there and
Ladies
keep a
and
clean
gentlemen,
run.
put your hands together for Andrew Redwood. You see the speed that he is going down here, and then a car makes a mistake in front of him. How quick was he to change his line?
Yeah, that's awesome, mate. As I say, he was smart. Look, there's probably 3 car links in there, and look at those 3 car links go. Jerry, some reason, got on the foot brake and the handbrake, slowing the car, and Andrew did really well to react to that and see if he was, a car length closer, there would have been a serious collision just happened just then.
And you'd have been off to Brian Roberts towing and seeing if you can get a deal through the Jenkins brothers.
Which I'm sure there would be. Those boys will help anyone out as quick as you can blink, mate.
So there we go, straight up, straight through. Andrew Redwoods gets the 3 strikes from Duncan Mackey and pole. He will be going through to battle Adam Davies in the top 16.
So I also want to mention we missed a guy, Filthy Phil Sutherland, one of the top blokes of the drifting series. He has a lovely R34 with a 2J in it. Don't know why he did that, but anyway, missed that big bloke. Hopefully one day we'll get him back up here tearing it up, clicking gears, doing what he does with that 800 horsepower R34. So
you say you don't know why he did that? Why he went for a 34 with a 2J, or?
Nah, that thing makes some serious power, man. It's a 3.4. It's got some serious wally, and especially with that man's big foot, he definitely knows how to pedal it and have a bit of fun.
Look, the only person that's gone faster than you in the last 4 days has been the man in the Toyota's Galore GT86. He did it outside of the qualifying area window, so 203k.
This is going to be a great battle. These 2 guys had some serious banter last night when we were around at Troy's. As you can see now, the judges are going to judge this on the gap that they have. Now, Ben has 800 odd horsepower. Drift Squid, he only has 380 kilowatts, so a whole heap less power. So they will judge it on how the gap stays the whole way through and pretty much the line that these guys run. So Ben run a nice clean run through there.
Ben would have known it as well. So Ben knew that he's got a little bit more legs in his 2J than what Jake Jones out of Australia, big shout out to the team in Australia watching him back at home, has in his. So you can see.
Look at the gap just created there. Jake's still getting up to that top speed at the end, but the initial gap that just gets gained is huge. So Jake did very well to get round there. Obviously sucking up on the inside there nicely. Both guys just dropping a wheel on that inner clip. I think there might have been another wheel there for Jake, but both are not bad runs. So the judges will mark that fairly evenly because of how the horsepower is set up.
And it may come down to just a couple of minor mistakes.
God dang it. So here we go. This is going to be one cool battle. See Jake out off the gate. He will be flat foot out of the gate now. I know Ben has been going flat foot as well, so he'll be definitely feeling how he's going to enter here. Jake is nice wide line. Look at that. Ben sitting in behind there, but see how he had a little bit of a correction. He will be furious. And see exactly what I meant there.
One of the things he has done though is he's held on to the drift. It didn't look, he may have straightened up prior to this, but he's actually kept this.
That's huge disadvantage to Ben. He will be furious at himself. But
the question is it a 0 disadvantage or a huge points loss disadvantage? Because we know that there was problems in the first run.
I'm not too sure what they'd call that, but this is exactly what I was calling. He should have definitely kept a good 4 car lengths. Look at him zoom up there with that power that he has in the drive. Now, Jake did an awesome lead run right on that clip, but Ben, got too close and didn't give himself enough room just to, create those. Say that mistake was huge. He'll be absolutely ropeable, and look at that Squiddy's face. He'll be pulling that face right now over the moon because he's just rolled into the top 8. Good on
Jake. Jones goes through, and he will face in the top 16, moving through into the top 8.
Yeah, good on him. Jake has put out there that he's doing big dreams. He wants to push his career, his passion, his love for the drifting, and I take my hat off to him. He is doing so well, getting all around the countrysides, different countries, all over the place, and now here he is back here, I think 5 or 6 years later after he did compete when the big Christchurch earthquake was going on, and it's good to see him back out here in the Toyota Galore's GT86, supplied by the D1NZ.